turn it down a bit.
Yeah, I appreciate those of you who clap. Just as a general rule, you should generally save your applause till the end because you really, you should save your laughter too. I mean, you guys don't know if you're going to like me or not at all. It's really some fine-looking pussy in the room tonight, huh? Man, shit. That turned out good. God damn. And I'm queer, man, so that's saying something. Seriously, man, you ladies are good. Okay. We're just going to do this thing, it'll be quick. I've been asked to tell you that the raffle will be after this. So those of you who bought tickets, stick around. Okay, here we go. The Lord be with you. That's amazing. Do you know I honestly expected no one was going to say anything. And see, that sucks because on my next card, I chastise you for not saying it. And you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. Look, I know you're not all Catholic here probably, right? But this is a Catholic ceremony that we're conducting here. This is a funeral. It's a serious business. This puppet is dead. And we're putting him to rest. And I think it's a little bit rude of you to show up and not know the rules. But you did, so. But do it again anyway. The Lord be with you.
Also with you.
Rock and roll. I tell you though, it wasn't really very pious. It was loud. It wasn't really pious. I need you people pious. This is a sacrosanct ritual of Catholic piety. I want you pious. I want you motherfuckers pious. I want everybody to muster all the piety they can. I have some instructions. Try this. Ladies, I'd like you so pious that you're ashamed for all that bleeding between your legs. Man, that's gross. Pious. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. As for the guys, I'd just be happy if you'd be pious enough to quit daydreaming about gay sex for a little while. But if you're dreaming of it with me, man, just let me know after the show. Okay, so I just told you all to be pious, and you're all thinking, well, who's this motherfucker to tell me to be so pious, right? Because I'm clearly not a priest, and we all know this is a costume, this is a performance, I'm not really a priest, but this is a funeral, and this is a eulogy, and so you do have to be pious, and the point is that I was Catholic. I turned Catholic when I was 10, I was baptized by choice, and I left the church at 13, also by choice. And I've chosen atheism for myself, and I'll tell you why. This is no joke. It's just that when I'm by myself, I like to be by myself. You know what I'm saying? Wow. That said, Catholicism is a beautiful religion. It really is, and there's a great deal of sound philosophy there. It gets made fun of, but it really is a beautiful religion. And with regard to the current scandal, I'm just kind of surprised really that it's even so much of a scandal. I as a former Catholic, have always felt, and I've pretty much assumed that everybody, even like non-believers, understood that one of the most appealing aspects of the Catholic Church was the boy fucking. Why else would you join the communion? Like shit. And don't get the wrong idea. I'm not a boy fucker. I was one of the boys. Yeah, that's no joke. That's no lie. And I'd actually like to share a thought with you that it doesn't get added to the argument much. I didn't mind it. Okay? I'm 12 years old. I did like it. I was 12 years old. Every bit as horny as I was confused about what horniness means. Father Tim, you know, he's a pretty cool guy. I enjoy spending time with him. He wants to squeeze the front of my pants till I have an orgasm. I'm like, thanks. No shit. No regrets. What were you guys doing when you were 12 on a Saturday afternoon? Watching the Smurfs, I bet. I was getting a hand job. And a good one. I tell people that story a lot, you know, and they're usually like, man, you didn't tell somebody, you didn't tell your mom? Like, I figured she knew. I mean, she'd been Catholic longer than me. I figured go hang out with Father Tim, wink, wink. The point is that it's my experience as a Catholic that qualifies me to do this, and that's the only reason we did all that. And I feel that I'm essentially as qualified as any priest, because those of you who know the Catholic religion know that the priesthood is based on 3 vows, which are the vow of poverty, which I've definitely got, man. The vow of obedience, like all of you, I work for a living, and the vow of chastity. I haven't gotten laid since February, and I feel like that qualifies me. And that's a long time. Really. And to be honest, it's the whole vow of chastity jazz that leads to the boy fucking in the first place, right? It'd be nice if we could just be honest about that. You put a man in jail for life, after a few years he develops a taste for thugs, okay? Put a man in a clerical collar, tell him no sex for the rest of your life, surround him with blossoming altar boys drunk on communion wine. What the fuck's he gonna do? Honestly though, the reason for making the whole ceremony Catholic is that the Catholics have a wonderfully elaborate vision of hell. And if anyone ever deserved to burn in eternal torment, it was No Vocab Man. I'm telling you. No, don't moan. You guys didn't know him like I knew him, okay? This guy's a worthless sack of shit. I'm glad he's dead. No, I'm glad. That's the only reason I agreed to do this. I was like, get this motherfucker out of the world, I'm there. This would generally be the point, just to prove what I'm saying, this would generally be the point where friends of the deceased would come up and speak a few words about the deceased. There's no friends. There's no friends. He had no friends. The motherfucker alienated every single person he ever met. At the end, even God turned his back on him. I don't know why, man. The point is he's dead, and I'm glad. Some of you are, well, a lot of you are moaning. No Vocab Man wasn't evil. No Vocab Man was the representative of all of our inarticulate moments. We couldn't find the words we so desperately wanted to communicate. Yeah. That was certainly one side of No Vocab Man. It's certainly the one that the audience saw. But you didn't know him. You didn't know him the way that we on the backstage did. And just to illustrate, I want to tell you guys a story. When I started out with Bobbindoctrin, I started out the way some people do, as the cleanup guy. It's the way you work your way up. You pick up behind the talent, you keep things nice and orderly, no sweat. It's kind of humiliating, but that's how you want to, start out if you're going to move up through the ranks. And so anyway, I'm the cleanup man. I've been doing it for about 6 months. And I go into No Vocab Man's dressing room one day, and there is this pile of like semi-solid shit on the floor. Okay, I'm the cleanup guy, this is my responsibility to take care of it. Fine, no problem. So I tear up this cardboard box. I've got like these pieces of cardboard, and like scrape it up and just get it out there real fast. So I bend down over this shit, right, and you get a good look at it, and it is crawling with hookworms. This is not a lie. This is not a lie. This pile of shit is crawling with hookworms. I fucking puked all over the shit, and then I've got to clean up this shit covered with the puke. So that's the No Vocab Man I remember. So you all are welcome to have all of your nice memories about what a wonderful guy he was, but that was that. Okay. Yada yada yada. He was a rotten creep and he deserved to die. I'm glad he's dead, and I'm glad his death forced me to reevaluate my own Catholic experience. It's been great for me. Absolutely. And it means that his life was worth something. At least, anyway, that's all of me, and now we'll just get to the eulogy, which unfortunately was computer generated, because nobody would actually take the time to sit down and say anything about it. So, this won't take long. And those of you with raffle tickets, it's just a couple more minutes. No Vocab Man was, by any measure, a remarkable man. He was remarkable for what you might call the trajectory of his life, starting on farms in Iowa and Minnesota, serving with the Red Cross in World War II, moving to Washington and achieving distinction as a businessman and a planner with great vision, remaining active until well into his 90s. Along the way, he was known for his tender devotion to Ramona, his wife of 51 years, and for his keen interest in the members of his far-flung family. When a man dies, you expect his children to come to the funeral, but we are surrounded by nephews, nieces, great-nephews, great-nieces, from Missouri, Colorado. Hawaii. That strikes me as strong evidence of the affection he felt for them and they for him. I really should have found something more appropriate, Joel. This is a bunch of bullshit.
Just do it, Dan.
When you thought of No Vocab Man, you thought instinctively of Padre Pio, the Italian monk, mystic and stigmatic. Who No Vocab Man met during World War II, and to whom he formed a lifelong attachment. When relatively few Americans had heard of Padre Pio, No Vocab Man was beating the drums for his beatification. He talked to everyone he met about Padre Pio. He wrote letters and newspaper columns, organized masses in Padre Pio's memory, sponsored books and videos. I was once told that he had distributed over 1 million Padre Pio prayer cards. And No Vocab Man had the great joy of being present in St. Peter's Square last year when the Holy Father beatified his friend. No Vocab Man was one of a kind. He was intensely curious about everything: people, places, events, art. Maybe that's one of the reasons he was a world-class talker. Okay, now that's really fucked up. Few people ever had a brief chat with No Vocab Man. He had a tremendously varied experience in his long life, and he'd love to share it with you. It could be disconcerting when you sat down for a chat with No Vocab Man, since he would usually rest his hand on Padre Pio's head, the head of a statue kept by his chair. In his later years, when he needed a cane to get around, he named the cane George. And the polite thing to do when you encountered No Vocab Man was also to say hello to George and to ask about his health. But if I were trying to select one characteristic which was most remarkable of all, I would say it was his absolutely extraordinary generosity. And it showed itself in many unexpected ways. Bill was not a man, No Vocab Man was not a man who limited his generosity to writing a check. That's not a joke, I just want a cigarette. He hosted a 4th of July party every year for many years for the entire town of Washington, Virginia, where he maintained a second home. And he was generous with his time, too. One memory especially dear to me is our late mutual friend, Dr. John Kuhn, who died almost 4 years ago. After John's cancer made it impossible for him to drive, No Vocab Man, who must have been 94 years old at the time, would stop every day to pick him up and bring him to Mass. No Vocab Man always had time for a friend, and most especially, a friend who wanted to practice his faith. He was known and loved by doctors, lawyers, cardinals, school children, janitors, bank tellers. As someone once said of the Catholic Church, "Here comes everybody." No Vocab Man loved that. He seemed to have time for them all. He was a man of virtue, of many virtues, really. Perhaps his final gift to us is the challenge to try to imitate those virtues. May his soul and the soul of his dear wife Ramona and all the souls of the faithful departed, in the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Now we're gonna dump this motherfucker in the garbage, right?